Most engineers prototype AI agents. Few engineers successfully deploy them. You are about to learn the difference. You build a multi-agent script. It works on your laptop. You think you are ready for production. You are wrong. That script is a trap. The tools you use handle exactly 20% of the problem. The remaining 80% is the gap that destroys projects. It consists of infrastructure, exception handling, and governance. To cross that gap, you have to fundamentally change how you think about architecture. You have to stop looking at just one dimension. The entire industry is obsessed with execution topology. They only look at how data flows. Academics only look at cognitive function. Both are blind to the full picture. This is axis 1. The what. Every agent must answer these 7 questions. If you ignore governance, your agent is a liability. If you ignore reflection, your agent is stagnant. This is axis 2. The how. The structural archetypes: chain, root, parallel, orchestrate, loop, and hierarchy. These are the pipes your agent's thoughts flow through. When you multiply the 7 cognitive functions by the 6 execution topologies, you get the vocabulary of modern AI architecture. 28 distinct, viable patterns. Let us look at a few. You have a massive document. You cannot feed it all into the prompt. Context. Triage routes information by priority. It perceives the data, then routes it. Perception times route. Everyone talks about RAG, but architecturally, what is it? It is memory executed as a chain, a linear pipeline that retrieves and injects knowledge. Before we move on, let's test this. Pause here. Which one do you think it is? Take a second before you advance. If you got that, great. If not, remember, the shape of the data flow does not define the intelligence. The wiring is not the brain. Now we move from theory to practice. How do we build dynamic workflows using these patterns? We use subagents. You do not need GPT-4 for everything. Complexity. Base routing dispatches queries based on difficulty. It routes reasoning. Fast thinking for easy tasks. Deep thinking for hard ones. Separate your strategy from your tactics. A planner breaks down the problem. Executors do the work. This is action executed via orchestration. This is how agents heal themselves. One agent generates, another critiques. They loop until the output meets the standard. Reflection over time. Speed matters. When tasks are independent, fan them out in parallel. Gather the results. Collaboration executed concurrently. Never give an agent unverified write access to reality. Route high-risk actions to a human. This is governance via routing. You must assume the agent will go rogue. Blast radius control uses nested hierarchies to limit the maximum damage a single action can cause. How do you connect these isolated sub-agents? You use hooks, shell commands attached to lifecycle events. They read state and trigger the next pattern. You know the patterns. Now you need a framework, but choose carefully, because most frameworks sell you an illusion. AutoGen and Crew AI are incredible tools. They are fast, they are flexible. They are also purely for prototyping. They do not solve the enterprise gap. When you move to production, you need state machines. You need managed infrastructure. You move to LangGraph or Nexus. You trade rapid prototyping for absolute control. Let's lock this in. Pause here. What is the 80% gap? Decide before you advance. If you chose C, you understand the reality of production. The real work starts after the prototype works. You cannot choose a pattern based on preference. You must choose based on environmental constraints. We call these the 5 laws of pattern selection. These are the 5 laws. They are non-negotiable. Let us look closely at the 2 most critical ones that dictate your system's survival. If your user expects an answer in 3 seconds, you cannot use a reflection loop. Time pressure dictates your topology. Seconds mean chains. Days mean hierarchies. If the cost of a mistake is fatal, you cannot optimize for speed. You must build reflection loops biased towards safety. The environment dictates the architecture. Memorize these terms. This is the vocabulary of control. This is how you discuss architecture with professionals. This is the single most important insight. Stop writing scripts. Start building a control plane. You are managing a system of probabilistic workers, not deterministic code. You now see the matrix. You understand the 80% gap. The choice is yours. Will you build the control plane or will you be managed by it?